Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to all of you to the WeLead Lounge. We will now be starting the session on nurturing financial literacy and inclusion for women in Uttar Pradesh. Please join me in welcoming Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development and Minority Affairs, Government of India, and the dignitaries on the dais. May I invite Shri Manoj Kumar Singh, Infrastructure and Industrial Development Commissioner, Government of Uttar Pradesh, to kindly give the opening remarks, please.
Namaskar, Honorable Minister, delegates on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone in this program and to tell you that it is not possible to talk in any significant manner about progress or development of any society or for that matter any country without taking into account what 50% of the population is doing. I would like to tell you what UP government has done in last 6 years on this important subject. I will touch upon two important sectors. One is representation, that is about through law, enactment of law, what kind of representation has been given in legislative and third tier government. Especially in third tier government, there is a reservation of 33%. But in UP, out of 58,000 gram panchayats, we have more than 26,000 women pradhans. So it is more than 45% representation there. Government is constantly trying and striving to make them more capable in representing or putting forth their demand, their requirement, and leading a role of capable leader. Second thing is about economic capability to earn. And in that field, I will show you a short video film, which will tell you that how unfounded this belief is that there is a huge digital divide in rural area. You will see that with what capability and with what earnestness they have learned or they have proved that how capable they are in this digital literacy and financial inclusion. So we will show a small video on that, ma'am. Sure. Thank you.
को मालूम है घूमती फिरती बैंक है हैं? कैसे सम्मान मिलता है, मतलब क्या होता है?
लोग श्रीरामपुर ब्लॉक से है और हमारा गांव 8 किलोमीटर दूर है वहाँ से, और जब वहाँ पर बुजुर्ग जो ज़ईफ लोग हैं तो उनसे चला नहीं जाता, तो फिर हम उन्हीं के घर जाके पैसे निकाल के आते हैं और वो दुआएं देते हैं। तो हम ये कहते हैं, मैंने कहा हमें मत दो, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी को दो।
बहुत ही मान और सम्मान मिला है। NRLM से जुड़ने के बाद हम इसमें इस पद पे कार्य कर रहे हैं, जिससे गांव में हमें बैंक दीदी के नाम से सम्मानित किया जाता है। अब कोई भी दीदी बैंक में जाने के लिए परेशान नहीं होती, सारे काम हम उनके गांव में ही निपटा देते हैं।
आप लोगों को मिलने जाते हैं कि लोग आपको ढूंढते हैं, कैसे करते हैं? जब जाते हैं पहले क्या करते हैं, कैसे बात करते हैं, मुझे समझाइए।
क्या परेशानी है, कैश निकलवाना है या जमा कराना है, फिर वो अपने बताते हैं, फिर उनसे उनका आधार कार्ड लेते हैं, आधार कार्ड से निकलवाना है तो आधार कार्ड डालते हैं, बैंक का नाम लेके, और फिर उससे पूछते हैं कस्टमर से कितना अमाउंट निकलवाना है, फिर फिंगरप्रिंट्स लगा के उनको निकलवा के और उनको अमाउंट बता देते हैं कि इतना आपका अमाउंट बच जाए।
किसी सबसे वृद्ध व्यक्ति को जिसने सबसे ज्यादा मदद की, ऐसा कौन है आप में से? एकदम आखिर में बताइए।
ताई जी, आपको अम्मा जी बुला रही हूँ, उनके पास जाती हूँ, माँ जी को बताओ आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है। बोलती है बेटा हम बैंक जाने में असमर्थ है, आप हमारा काम घर पर कर दीजिए। तो मैं अपना सारा बायोडाटा लेके उनके पास जाती हूँ, फिर उनको पैसा निकाल कर देती हूँ, फिर पूछती हूँ अम्मा और भी कोई दिक्कत हो तो मुझे बताना, मैं आपके साथ।
सर, हमारे यहाँ एक बुजुर्ग ऐसे हैं जो बोलते थे कि हम बैंक जाते हैं तो सिर्फ झगड़ा होता है। मैंने पूछा कि बाबा आपका झगड़ा होता क्यों है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि मेरा झगड़ा इसलिए हो जाता है कि हम बैंक में कहते हैं मेरा कैश जमा कर दो, तो बोलते तुम्हारा खाता ही बंद हो जाता है। तो हमने कहा कि आप अपना खाता नंबर दीजिए, आधार आपका हम लगाएंगे, आपका अकाउंट हम चालू कराएंगे, और आज से आपको बैंक जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। अब सर उनका जो है अगर धान बेचे या गेहूं, वो बनिया के पास हमेशा रहता था, लेकिन सर आज वो मुझे 50,000 ला के देते हैं, बोलते बेटा ये लो तुम बांटो। और हमारा जो सर हमारे ओडी में चला जाता है और हम क्या करते हैं ओडी से ले जा करके उनके खाते में ट्रांसफर कर देते हैं। सर एक मेरी तो बचत हो गई कि बैंक कम जाना पड़ा।
50,000 रुपया आप लेकर के जाती है, आपको हिम्मत डर नहीं
सर जी
लगता?
सर मैं 50,000 नहीं, मेरा डेली का ट्रांजेक्शन सर इस टाइम 2.5 से 3 लाख है। मेरे पास एनी टाइम लाख 1.5 लाख अमाउंट मैं रखती हूँ।
क्या शुभ नाम आपका?
सर नीतू मौर्य, मैं डी ब्लॉक से हूँ।
पहले जब मैंने बैंक में काम नहीं करती थी सर, मैंने खाना बनाती थी और मेरा उतना इज्जत सम्मान नहीं था जितना मुझे अब बढ़ा है। हमारे गांव में जब से सभी लोग जान गए कि ये बैंक खोली है, मैंने सबसे बताई हूँ। मैं उनके घर जा करके खाता भी खोलती हूँ और पैसा भी लेन देन करती हूँ। हमारे कार से वो लोग बहुत खुश हैं सर।
बहनों का ऐसा होता है, जब भी उनको काम का मौका मिलता है वो अद्भुत करके दिखाती है। चलिए, आपको मेरी बहुत बहुत बधाई।
ये एक स्कीम थी बैंकिंग।
यहाँ पर हम
वेंकट अभी
आधार नंबर डालते चल रहे हैं। आधार नंबर हमारा पढ़ने के बाद इनका अमाउंट क्या हम डालते हैं ये हम डिसाइड करते हैं। अगर इनको 5
This was a scheme of banking correspondent Sakhi, in which the intention was that we will have one such Sakhi in each Gram Panchayat. We have 58 Gram Panchayats. Till date, we have onboarded 38,000 of them, and we have given them a loan of interest-free loan of 70,000, जिससे वो पॉश मशीन वगैरह लेकर and they are working on it. और आज तक का, अभी तक का पिछले 2 साल में जो ट्रांजैक्शन है, it is 21,000 crore, ma'am. And the commission they have earned is around 55,000 crore. Yeah, 21,000 crore, it will be around 2.5 billion US dollar. 2.5, yeah. And they have earned a commission of around 50 crores and 8 crores, 80 million transactions they have done in last 2 years. So imagine the kind of women or old people, they have been prevented from going to the bank, and without going to bank, they have availed these facilities. Even UNICEF ambassador, she recently went there and met these women, and you can see what is her opinion about it.
ये मैम मशीन ऑन हो गई है। यहाँ पर हम आधार नंबर डालते चल रहे हैं। आधार नंबर हमारा पढ़ने के बाद इनका अमाउंट क्या हम डालते हैं ये हम डिसाइड करते हैं। अगर इनको 500 निकालना है तो यहाँ हम 500 डालते हैं। यहाँ विड्रॉल पे हम जाते हैं। अब ये आगे मांगेगा मेरा फिंगर। जब तक मेरा फिंगर नहीं लगेगा कोई बैलेंस को निकाल नहीं सकता है। ये नहीं कि पता चले कोई भी आकर मशीन में बस पैसा निकाल ले, क्योंकि ये हमारी सिक्योरिटी है। अब चाची आप अंगूठा लगा दीजिए। अब इनका अमाउंट निकल रहा है।
You have successfully withdrawn.
ताकि उनके अकाउंट में कितना है और बैलेंस क्या है,
दोनों चीजें प्लस ये नाम होता है और हमारी आईडी से निकला है। ये भी
अच्छा, तो फिर आपकी आईडी से निकला है वो भी दिखा है।
तो ये मेरी आईडी, मेरा नाम, पता सब इसमें नोट होता है।
Very innovative.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Singh. May I now invite Ms. Seema Chaturvedi, founder and chair of AWE Foundation, to kindly say a few words.
Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure and such an honor, Minister Irani, to be saying my story in front of you for the second time. I wear 2 hats. So I run a venture fund, which is, we've been called India's leading gender smart venture fund. We're investing in tech-led innovation to promote gender equity and climate action. The premise of our fund is climate is a symptom of some very significant base inequities, and the solution of climate change lies in the hands of greater adoption, and the biggest adopters of those solutions are women. So why are we not embracing the need for gender equity? And we are very brazen about it. We are full-throated in saying we will invest in women ownership, leadership, supply chain, market making. I have to say my father was a proud UPite from the holy city of Mathura, might I add. And we are actively investing in UP, both in capacity building. We have partnered with Tata Foundation and Google to spread financial literacy and digital literacy. We've done numerous workshops in Lucknow, and you'd be happy to know, Minister Irani, that we've actually helped close to 50,000 women entrepreneurs in the city, in the state of UP. And of course, we are a pan-India fund, so we're not limiting ourselves only to UP, but we're very proud to be investing. Our foundation does capacity building. A request for Minister, since you are very generously offered to listen to us, is there is a very significant correlation between the limited venture equity that goes to women businesses and the women fund managers. There's less than 10% female led fund managers, and that trickle down reflects in the less than 2% venture funding. So while the government of India, and we are proud recipients of Self-Reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat India Fund of Funds, we would invite, and we've already put in a request to Mr. Singh, since we are so active in UP, we'd love to be able to do more with the requisite support, and we'd love to. And we are raising our hand for doing much more work. So thank you again for having me here.
Thank you so much, Seema. It's amazing work that you're doing. May I now invite Ms. Vartika Shukla, Chairman Managing Director of Engineers India Limited, please.
Thank you, Minister and my co-panelists. It's a delight to be here in WEF. I have three ways to represent on the panel. One is as a UPite, studied in Lucknow and IIT Kanpur, and as representing the PSUs of the nation who are relentlessly working towards, through various activities, both CSR and otherwise, empowering the women of the nation. And thirdly, a firm believer that it is the women who bring in a lot of diversity. I'm a very gender-neutral person so far as corporate goes, but the inclusion of women down the line in every aspect of life is extremely important for us to grow both as a nation as well as bring up our economy, which our Honorable Prime Minister has envisioned for us. A couple of points in terms of, and I was going through the initiatives of the UP government and the national initiatives under Honorable Minister. The awareness, which is a very important factor, which goes down to the rural areas because we are an agrarian economy, and the empowerment that the women we saw in terms of moving money with ease directly is actually the key to unlocking their potential. Moving on, it's just not about moving cash, being cashless, being digital, but I think we can go a step further in empowering them in terms of educating them on pension, on health, and diverting some of that money that they earn into the well-being of themselves. Because if we do that for the women, we actually change the complete family also. And it is a two-way process. While the women benefit, the nation benefits. Even the enterprises, which are the banks. In fact, I was going through one of the microfinance banking agencies. And in comparison to a lot of men, not being biased in terms of gender, but the women are more dedicated. And they're proud that if they pick up even a small fund, they will work relentlessly to make it a success. And that is the genre, that's the blood that is ingrained into getting success with whatever little they have. And it is both our duty as policymakers, as corporates, to make sure that we do a little bit extra, because the mile that we walk extra matters in this case. And that is what we are doing. We as a company, Engineers India, we have two schemes, Sanjeevani and Shakti, which are focused to empowering women, skilling them, making them self-sufficient, giving them vocational training, also looking after their health, such that when we stand up and we speak for the company, we can add that pride with us. Yes, we are there in a position to make a difference, and we are making that difference.
Thank you so much, Vartika. May I now invite Honorable Minister Smriti Irani to kindly deliver the keynote address, please.
I didn't know I have a keynote address. I will just make a disclosure first that I'm the fourth UPite on the dais. I have the privilege of being a member of parliament from UP, and so does the Prime Minister of India. That he represents not only the most holiest of cities in the world, but also a state, a nation that has become the hallmark for infrastructural development and social structures, which have been empowered through his intervention, is a matter of great pride for all Indians. I will just reflect back on the film that Manojji showed today. There are two pertinent questions that were asked of ladies by the Prime Minister of India. One, the volume of their transaction every day digitally. The lady who described her engagement financially with citizens was erudite enough to tell the Prime Minister that she was transacting worth 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees of engagements. But what is fascinating is the process that was described. She took the digital identification markers of citizens that she was meeting, which means that as a banking correspondent, she has created an environment of trust in her local community. Most people who work in the segment of gender know that that is one of the first barriers women, especially fiscally, have to cross within their own family unit, let alone the communities that they live in. That these women have done that with such poise and obtained the trust of managing people's money. One of the persons who was a part of the film said that somebody who wanted KYC done for their banking engagements, after procuring cash from their businesses, handed it over to the female banking correspondent so that she becomes that engagement with financial institutions. So she's the human instrument for this financial engagement. And from a cultural point of view, for a woman to cross so many thresholds is fascinating financially and socially. The other question that the Prime Minister posed was she safe when she took a volume of cash every day to the bank, physically? And the lady was nonchalant, as though the question should not exist at all, which is a reflection of the complete implementation of law and order in the state of Uttar Pradesh. That there is an environment of safety for women, and women who are financially empowering communities enough for them to take a volume of cash and then become the bridge with a financial institution. Now, I will just expand on a few things, and I think that Manojji, you and your team and the Chief Minister's office will exponentially work on it. One, Vartika is one of those examples that is nationally celebrated as a female engineering lead of a company. There are huge amount of investments made in academia in UP today, where India is in need of 1 million professionals only in data sciences and AI. How much of it can be fed by the most populous state in the country? We now have introduction of AI curriculum at class 6, which is unheard of anywhere in the world. So there is an added focus to AI, which is the buzzword on the promenade. The fact that as global chair of AI, we are creating a consciousness. But what you can do between public and private partnerships is to ensure that the algorithm is well informed and is not afflicted by gender bias. The other bias is the linguistic bias. So when people and leaders like you, Seema, contribute and partner with governments, you also need to see what are the new systems that are coming up in technology that can reduce that bias. The third aspect on which I'm hoping that Manojji, you receive a lot more partnership at WEF is ensuring that pre and post agro-processing units are democratized across the state, which also is a national ambition. UP has one of the most resoundingly successful program of one district, one product. The entire district administration, in collaboration with the state governments, in our country under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and particularly in UP, they look at only one product which has to be honed in for enterprise, skilling, and creates export potential. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are seated here, if you all turn to your right, you will see this young lady. She's from the state of UP. She's from the city of Banaras. She is a fourth generation craftsperson, and she makes sustainable toys which have absolutely no mechanical interface at all. Most of her toys are for early childhood education, but what she also does is helps preserve a lot of our cultural knowledge systems. So there are many boxes that she ticks. So, and she's happily now presenting whatever is on offer here. So do take her business card when you leave. But the fact that a young woman finds a voice at WEF, preserves culture, does great business, and also serves the cause of education for other youngsters and families in UP. I think that's the UP story. It's not only about big ticket manufacturing hubs. I happen to be the recipient of one. One of the largest bottling plants of Coca-Cola in South Asia is in my constituency in UP. And I can testify to the fact that from the day of signing, and as the logo goes above the heads of all political leaders, which I think is a wise thing to do, Manojji, above the politics is the investment agenda. And the fact that between Coca-Cola signing up for investing in UP and the factory, which, like I said, is the biggest bottling plant in South Asia, which I'm told by Coca-Cola will become the 15th largest bottling plant in the world very soon. It took us only 1 year from the date of signing to the date of operationalization of machines in the presence of the Chief Minister and the Member of Parliament, machines which were also predominantly imported, some from Germany, all of that in just 1 year. So that's the speed and the scale at which we are delivering. India is very proud that today we have one such case in point, which has been here articulated well by Manojji, that this articulation happens in the first ever gender lounge hosted by any country in the history of WEF, speaks about the potential not only of India, but also Indian women. I'm proud as a fellow citizen, Manojji, that we are the only country in the world that has made an economic case for investing in women. So I'm hoping you have a happy WEF. And to all the investors in the house, sign up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister Smriti Irani. May I now request Mr. Singh to give away some tokens of appreciation to the dignitaries on the dais. These are, yes, ODOP gifts.
The other young lady is from the state of Rajasthan and does something called blue pottery. So just because I'm from UP, I'm a fellow Indian, very proud of even that legacy. Do have a visit with her as well.
One picture, please. You're holding it.
Yeah.
Into my camera.
Want me to hold this?
Yeah, this way.
Where are you from, gentlemen?
Yeah, this way, this way.
Where are you from, sir?
Ma'am, from India.
You're from India.
Yes.
Who else is not here from India? My camera person here. So you should take this as a gift from India.
Yes,
to
for
the
you.
people of UP.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just a second.
Thank you.
Hold it.
Yeah.
One picture. Yes. This way into my camera.
Thank you, and it matters.
This is called foresight.
Alignment of thoughts too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.